Hey everyone, this is Chase at Rocky Mountain ATV, joined by Mark Finley from Fox Racing. Today we're going to walk you through the family of helmets from Fox Racing. All right, everyone, thanks for tuning in. So I am joined here with Mark Finley. Mark is a global marketing director for Fox Racing. Mark, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having us. Great to be here.
All right, so today, this is our goal. You can see on the table, we have 3 helmets from Fox Racing. We have the new V1, which is brand new last year in 2018. We got the V3, which we saw earlier in 2019, which all the top riders from Fox are wearing. And now we have the all-new V2. So what we want to do in this video today, our goal is just to kind of talk about the family of helmets, talk about the differences between them, what really distinguishes them, and by the end of this video, help you decide which one's going to be the best pick for you. So Mark, take it away, starting with the V1.
Great, yeah, as we look at the V1, this is what I would consider our entry-level helmet, and for us this is under $200 in your price point range. The one thing to think about with the V1 helmet, again, being a price point and entry-level helmet for us, we're using a polycarbonate shell, so that's an injection molded polycarbonate ABS blend. One of the cool features with V1, even at this price point, we have 4 shell sizes and 4 EPS sizes. The idea there is to fit the widest range of riders out there from a head shape perspective. So 4 shell sizes, 4 EPS. The other cool feature with the V1, we've taken our MVRS, our magnetic visor release system, from our premium helmets and brought it down to our entry-level helmet. The cool thing there, the visor is meant to release in the event of an impact with the ground, reducing that external rotational lever effect that a visor can have on a helmet when you do impact the ground. Finally, I mentioned it earlier, airflow. You'll see a nice airflow story going on with our chin bar in through the brow area, and then you have large exhaust vents in the back of the helmet to really pull that hot air off the top of the rider's head and keep the rider cool on the motorcycle.
Yeah, I was actually down at Fox Raceway when you guys released the V1 last year. I rode in it, and that's something I said in my review that I was impressed with probably the most with the V1 is you can literally feel the airflow going through that chin bar, through the vents. So you guys did a great job with the ventilation. And something else real quick I want to point out that I think is cool is that you can see the family of helmets. So the V1 and the V2, very similar with their shell shape, and they also look very similar to the V3. So I think it's really cool that you can still get their entry-level helmet at a great price, but you still feel like you're getting that same aesthetic and killer look that you're getting with the new V3.
Yeah, that's true. You'll see our top riders in the V3 helmet, and again, so many people are watching Supercross and Motocross right now and are inspired by what the riders are wearing. So we wanted to make sure that aesthetic was carried through the rest of the line.
All right, now tell us about the new V2 then.
Yeah, so the V2, all new for this year. So before we really dive into the V2, I do want to talk about the V3. The V3 came out in spring of 2019. It's the helmet you've seen on Ken Roczen, the Team Geico riders. There's a couple of great technologies that we brought to life in the V3 that are now living in the V2 helmet. We wanted to take that technology, get it into a sub $300 helmet, and that's what we've done with the V2. This is what we consider a race-ready helmet. A couple of those technologies are our internal rotational management system. We're using fluid inside. It's an all-new system that is managing rotational energies. And these are literally pods that are placed inside the helmet. So as you get to the V2 helmet, there are 5 fluid pods inside the helmet. These are meant to really decouple the helmet from the rider's head, managing rotational forces when you have an angled impact with the ground. The fluid inside is mimicking the body's natural protection system between the brain and the skull, cerebral spinal fluid. It's a great material or fluid to help with shear movement. So we're getting shear management or rotational management out of our pod system. We're also getting linear impact or straight impact management out of our fluid inside system as well. So a great internal rotational management system coming down from the V3 into the V2. The other internal system that you want to think of is your EPS, literally your crumple zone inside of your helmet. We are using a Varisorb system, a dual density Varisorb inside the V3 helmet. That same system makes its way into our brand new V2 helmet. So 2 great internal management systems, energy, rotational management, coming into this sub $300 helmet.
And one thing with that Varisorb that I kind of want to clarify, because I had the same question, is I like to think of it as like a parking lot cone. It's pointed, and so think of it as progressive. So when it first takes the impact, it's going to compress at a little bit slower speed, but as that impact gets faster, it's going to progressively get firmer. So it's more of a progressive impact absorption, correct?
Absolutely. It's spreading the energy over a wider range surface area. Okay. And that's what we really want out of Varisorb inside the V3 and the V2 helmet.
All right, so you're getting the same great ventilation scheme with the V1. You're still getting the MVRS with the visor, but the big story here is if you want to get a helmet that has a lot of the same features and benefits of the V3, but sub $300, you're going to want to go with the V2.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Great, as I mentioned, race-ready helmet.
And still polycarbonate shell like with the V1, correct?
Yeah, great point, Chase. It is still polycarbonate, and that's where you'll see some of the differences as we move into the V3 helmet.
Okay.
One thing that I think is really important to know, too, the V1 is coming in youth sizes. The V2 also is new to us this year, coming in youth sizes. So we're taking that Visor technology, that fluid technology, and MVRS into a race-ready helmet for the little guys out there.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, so now, last one. Let's talk about the V3.
Yeah, great. So the V3 was brand new in spring 2019 for us. Brand new launch in our line. Some of the differences that you're going to find in the V3 compared to the V1 and the V2, the shell construction. So we're using what we call MCT, a multi-composite technology. So it's a carbon fiber, a fiberglass, and Kevlar blend. It gives us a great strong shell, but it's also very lightweight. So that's something that's really important for us in the V3 helmet. The other thing that you want to think of is just the really aggressive intake airflow story with the V3 helmet. Now we have it on the V1 and the V2, but you guys can see immediately the aggressive intake vents on the front, the brow area, the chin bar, all helping this premium level rider stay cool on the motorcycle.
Yeah, I've actually ridden in the new V3 as well, and just like with the V1, but even more extreme when it comes to the venting design. So another question I have, Mark, is with the visor, because I know with the V3, the V2, and V1, little bit different when it comes to magnetic visor release system, right?
Absolutely, yeah. As you look at the V1 and the V2, they're going to use a center magnet. The sides somewhat snap into the shell. There's the snap system is molded into the visor itself, so it's a really robust, secure system. As you move to V3, I would call this our second generation of MVRS. We were able to design the shell and the visor at the same time and really come up with a better interface this year with the new V3 helmet. The whole goal there, Chase, was to really have the visor stay in place in severe roost situations.
Right. I know some riders got knocked off. People talked about it.
The old V3, by all means, when we worked on that helmet, when we designed it, we weren't necessarily designing the shell and the visor at the same time. It was an existing helmet. This one gave us the opportunity to design the shell and the visor marriage, or that connection point, together. So we have a much more robust system, the way this connects to the actual helmet itself.
Okay. Now with the fluid inside pods, another big difference is you have 5 we talked about in the V2. When you jump up to the V3, you're now jumping to 7 fluid inside pods.
Absolutely. You've got a better wrap around the entire head with 7 pods, fluid inside pods inside the V3 helmet.
Okay, and then lastly, this is probably one of the coolest things about it. It's very different. When you turn the helmet and you look at the profile of the V3, something very different than the V2 is you guys actually did this cage system in the front, one that we've actually brought. So kind of explain that to consumer and why you guys did that 2-piece construction.
So with airflow in mind, we really wanted to get some large channels in the chin bar, but we did not want to sacrifice chin bar strength when we did that. So when we designed this is an injection molded polycarbonate ABS construction here. This allowed us to get these large vent systems here and still keep a very nice aesthetic look, but also retain the strength that we wanted in a chin bar itself.
Okay.
So this is, again, a 2-piece construction. You can see here, actually the cage does a better job of showing it. There's literally a part line where the cage marries up to the rest of the shell construction. But what you want to see with the cage system here is how far this anchors into the EPS. The EPS is actually shot around the cage system itself to really anchor it in place inside the helmet.
Okay, and then last question I have that I think people out there want to know is the comfort liner on the inside. Is there a difference here between the V3 and the V2?
This is a premium ecstatic comfort liner, antimicrobial, moisture wicking. It's really going to keep the rider cool and dry while they're on the track. You will also see what we're using here is an XT2 internal comfort liner on the V2, which is a step up from the V1. So you're going to see these nice improvements in function and features as you work your way up. Exactly.
All right, well, perfect. So just a quick recap. Got the V1, it's your entry level, sub $200, but same aesthetic look as the V2, even very close to the V3, but like we've talked about, probably one of the best venting helmets that is out there, entry level or not. So if you want a great looking helmet at a great price point that vents well, V1.
Absolutely.
V2, sub $300, not gonna be as light as the V3, but you're still getting the FI pods, which are a premium safety feature you guys have in the new V3. You're also getting that Visor liner, so a little bit heavier, but if you want the premium features, but sub 300, V2.
Right.
And then working your way into the V3, the premium, coming around that $500 price point, but this is what Ken Rocks and the Geico Honda guys are all wearing. Lightweight because you had that multi-composite shell. A little bit different with the magnetic visor release system, but you're getting the 7 FI pods versus the 5. And then again, we talked about the cage construction, a little bit better comfort liner on the inside. So if you're looking for the ultimate premium with a very aggressive venting design, the V3 is going to be the way to go.
Absolutely.
All right, well, there you guys have seen it. That is the family of helmets coming from Fox Racing. If you guys have questions or comments, we want to get those answered. So feel free to leave those below. And to pick up your next Fox helmet is this easy. Just click on the link or head over to RockyMountainATVMC.com. Fox also does an incredible job of matching their helmets with colorways. So if you're a guy that likes to match jersey, pant, gloves to the helmet, they're going to have a kit that's going to be perfect for you. Orders over $75, ship free. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you like this video to see a whole lot more just like it. I am Chase. We'll see you on the trails.